You see, since very beginning, we were discussing about the caste system of India. We are condemning this caste system in India. And we feel because of this strong caste system, believe in faith in caste system, our progress is not that much uh, viable like the progress of Japan and Europe and other countries, because the caste system creates a lot of obstacle in social harmony. And people say uh, that was also a cause why we remained slave for so long, because peoples were not bothered, who had no self-respect, who had not given any social status, and who were kept always as a working labor. So they never had that patriotism in their soul and mind, you see. So they never cooperated, the upper class of the people, to struggle and fight with the invaders. That's why they remained slave for so long. But when we go deeply in caste system, in very beginning, after going through with the very early text of our old Hindu culture, I was feeling this, there was a class system. There was no kind of a caste system in those days, because your ego, you stopped mixing from all part of society. So that's what I feel. When the ego of the most important part of the society of the people of India made them selfish, and they had started exploiting innocent people in the name of religion. That was the time when religion was made as an institution. Otherwise, it was like a continuous flow of philosophy. Because they were believing what is true, that is absolute, and what is absolute, that's true. They become supplement of each other. So absolute true is a knowledge, and it should be dynamic. Because what is static, that is dead, and what is dynamic, that's alive. So when this whole system of philosophy from Vedic age was flowing, I think there was no discrimination of a different label of people, like untouchable class, like warrior class, like business class. Because everybody, even the Brahmins were marrying among the Kshatriyas, and Kshatriyas were marrying among the working class agriculture labor. There was no discrimination. Because according to the personal intellectual level and according to the individual working capacity, that there was a harmony between every class of society, like the priest class, like the warrior class, like the business class, like the labor class, agriculture labor class. But later on, it became strictly by birth. And that was the time when all this a bad effect came in our society, and today you could see the consequences of that. Because since then it was made by birth, because of the selfish motive and because of insecurity to protect your generation, you made some rules and regulation to maintain your superior status always in a society, and that will be possible by exploitation of others. To take a help of the warrior community, then you started ruling the society. So you coronated the warrior class as a king class, and you become a spiritual leader, religious leader, to introduce you to the God. So that's how these two strong, powerful class, they started misusing a labor class. And they made labor class untouchable. And business class people, they were very clever. They were taking help of the agriculture labor because they were lending money to them. And they were helping the Brahmins and the warrior class people to get a protection of their wealth and property. So that's how, when the people of different class, they started exploiting each other, that's how the social harmony disturbed. And that was the reason. And few thousand counted people can enter in this subcontinent, and they can make a huge population slave for so long. Because that balance, that love, the harmony totally disappeared among the social, among the different class of the society, when they become a labor class or a scheduled class or untouchable class. The religion also helped little bit, because religion was always giving a lesson of absolute purity. They were trying to justify what is wrong, what is good. And they were trying to give us this understanding. God always loves purity. and they totally forget the purity of heart, soul, and mind is more important than the physical purity. The purity of heart, mind, and soul, the purity of thoughts is more important than the physical purity. So some people, illiterate people, and we have an expression of tamas. If you will eat tamas food, a food which is not helping to your system with this climatic condition of heat, humidity, you will never have a consciousness in your mind. So that class who was continuously working as a working class, as a labor, they were not known as a slave, but their life was just like a slave. They were only working for the upper class people. They don't have that emotion to celebrate with the natural way of celebration of life. So they started boozing a lot. They started eating stale meat. And that's how they thought. These peoples, they are not following the system of vegetarian. They are not following the cleanliness of physical system. They should be thrown out from our system. So that's how they said, you people cannot build a house near the three upper class society. So they were rejected. They were all started building houses. They started keeping pigs. They had lost their total hygienic sense. Their totally illiterate remains from thousand and thousand years. Their genes were dead to understand they are also soul, blessed soul. They are also part of God. They are also part of nature like the upper class people. They thought this is the way to live for lifelong. And that self-respect died among them. And these people, they need more to help them, who are responsible for maintaining the cleanliness in the society. And Mahatma Gandhi realized very first. That's why he gave, they are not untouchable. They are not a low-class people. They are Harijan. Hari means God, and Jan is the people. They are the peoples of God. So he was trying to bring them. It was so bad 100 years ago, even till 50 years ago, till before independence, the untouchable cannot come and take a water from that same well where the Brahmins and Kshatriyas, they were drinking water. So they're making their own well, and without maintaining its purity. You see, that's why they could not physically develop. When they could not physically develop, their mental status remained very weak, and that's how they don't have any kind of consciousness. So that's how that discrimination become a cause of unbalance in the society.
But how can you come back to this flow? How can you, get this flow back into society? That
the caste system? No.
No, this flow which were
by educating everyone. You see, now education is also commercialized today.
It's a mess.
It's a mess. You see the big cities, and they want to give, all the rich people want to give such a expensive education to their children. And when children will develop with that kind of upbringing, where money is stinking, they will never have that emotion and sentiment for this class of people. So first thing, we have to give a proper hygienic condition, a more healthy educational system to this kind of people, and to give them more respect. You are equal like us. You have also that same blessed soul what we have. And what is happening today, because of modern, these electronic things, whatever they are earning, and government is giving a lot of facilities to them, they are all, previously they were making liquor by their own hand, they were drinking little bit, now everything is available in the market, even the bad quality of, cheap quality of alcohol, they're drinking, and they want to come with the jeans and shirt, they want to come in the same equal level of the rich people, but they don't have that understanding and knowledge. So that is not going to help them. We have to take care of them from their primary level. So when the primary school will be there, and who will be the teacher of the students? The people, the teachers who comes from this kind of self-dependent society. If they will come with that social feeling, and if they will be paid properly by government, because they also need a money for their proper livelihood, then they will do justice with this kind of education. Today, the whole government education system in the village is a mess, and all the money which is coming from the central government, people they are not using. If they are paid by government, they are just using for drinking alcohol and drinking not eatable things, uneatable things, and they are not knowing what is mal food and what is good food for health. So for every as part of life, from food to clothes to education to living in a room and to your entertainment, we have to educate them. Not only by giving a books and giving them only that kind of education and then our duty is over. It's a duty of every self-dependent Indian to give this little good understanding, to share their own happiness and feeling with these kind of people. But if caste system was there, that caste system is still there. And that was a different level of society, like extraordinary rich people, middle class people, and the poor class people. So see, that class system is still remaining like a little caste in a modern age also. A very rich class people, they try to mix up only with their own level people. They don't like to mix up with them. Until you don't have that great emotion and sentiment to help the humanity, until you don't try to go and help poor people who are living in a farmer out of ignorance, they are not getting the same help. So you can do that. Otherwise, the class system is still there, caste system is still there, according to the various level of their intellectual level and various level of their economic, especially the economic level.